Good morning, and blessed Sunday to everyone. I hope everyone has had a restful evening. If you're still resting, man, God bless you. I will be joining you in that rest soon, hopefully. I had a very lengthy night, so I'm happy to be on here with you guys and then happy to then rest afterwards. But happy Sunday. This is our heart check for this Sunday, and I wanted to come from the book of Galatians, chapter 6. And verse 9 says, do not be weary in well doing. I mean, it's just very simple. Like, don't get tired in the good that you are doing. But I think there's a question there that has to be answered of what is my well doing? Like, how do I not operate in vain to make sure that I do not get weary in the good that I'm doing? Because you can't be doing good things that are not your particular well doing. And therefore, you do become weary. And then you question, why? Why is this not enough? So then I went back up in the chapter, and we see that any man that considers himself to be something he is not, when he has nothing, when he is nothing, he deceives himself. Thought, okay, so how do I find out who I am and what I have and why I'm mighty in order to not be a deception even to my own spirit? So this heart check actually comes from a girlfriend that I was talking to on last night, and she brought to me, especially during this climate and this time that we find ourselves in, and really wanting to hone in on what do I need to be doing? How do I use my might here? The gifts that you've given me, Lord, the things that you've told me to say, the person that you've built me to be. How do I use all my emotions and all my mentality and all my functionality to be for might here and do it for good so that I'm not weary in it? And it comes back to what this girlfriend said. Simply, it's the last thing that God told you to do. The very last thing that you remember hearing Him ordaining you to do, authorizing you to do, making you responsible for, do that until He tells you more. And so we get in our minds and say, well, that doesn't have anything to do with the current climate of the world, Lord, this pandemic and any epidemic that's going on, the racial and problems we're having and the racist epidemic that we're in and the Christian body and your son and how we are not operating like him. Lord God, this little that you've told me to do, that's not mighty enough. And he says, the last thing I told you to do is what I need from you. And so then it takes me down to verse 4 and 5 where it says we are responsible to do the creative best with our lives. The only way that we know what our creative best is, because God knows more than we could ever fathom, is to get plugged in with Him. Lord, I need you to show me my might for this time, for such a time as this, Lord. What is my might? What is my well-doing so that I don't get weary? Because if I'm doing good that has not been authorized of me, I will become weary. I'll become stagnant. I'll become bitter. I'll become unfulfilled, Lord. But I want to make sure that my might is serving the time. So what was the last thing that God told you to do? Was it to read your Bible every day? Was it to raise your children as arrows? Was it to love your spouse? Was it to go out and peacefully protest? Was it to be a speaker against injustice? Was it to start a podcast? Was it to visit your friends who are sick? What was God telling you to do last? Was it to write a book? What was He saying? This is what I have creatively best set up for you to do. Do this and I will show you more. But I need to know that you're responsible to take on this might. Because if God can't trust us with the might that He's already shared with us, He can't go giving us to the climate of the world that's going on now. We're not ready. We're not prepared. And we haven't shown ourselves to be responsible. We've deceived ourselves with what we are doing. So I want to encourage you to remember and recall the last thing that God told you to do. Remember in your heart, the last thing He said, this is what I want from you. This is what I want for you. So then I can take you out to the climates of the world. You won't be deceived into thinking you're something that you're not. I don't want you going out and do something that you're not authorized to do, that you're not protected to do, that you will not become weary in. So recalling on today with your heart during this heart check here, what was God telling you to do last? And are you operating in that? Are you being respectful to do that thing? Are you standing back in a well-doing that's actually not been protected and given for you to do? Girlfriends, I hope that you get a revelation from the Lord. I pray that you stay in the well-doing that has been authorized and has been assigned to you, so that you do not become weary, and that you live and that you move through with ease without tiredness, so that God can give you to the climate of the world and you not be totally overwhelmed. I love you all. I hope you have an amazing, amazing Sunday. Many blessings to you and your family, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, girlfriend.